A total reward strategy that reinforces performance and recognizes employee effort and contribution helps to ensure motivated and committed talent. As companies pay attention to how they are spending their limited compensation dollars, recognizing and rewarding performance can be challenging. In a recent HCI webcast underwritten by Halogen Software, Blair Jones, the managing principal at Semler Brossi Consulting, and Timothy Haynes, Director of HR at Quaker Chemical Corporation, discussed the latest in pay-for-performance practice and thought.
And we want to get started by giving you a little bit of grounding, first on what we mean by pay-for-performance, and also so that you can have some grounding for Tim's examples. We wanted to also talk to you about Quaker and what pay-for-performance means at Quaker. So just as a conceptual overview, when we talk about pay-for-performance, we're really talking about motivating employees to improve performance on key metrics by varying their pay based on those metrics. And you can differentiate pay in a number of different ways. You can do it with base salary. You can do it through annual incentives, and those annual incentives can be based on company, business unit, or individual performance. You can use long-term incentives, which might be earned based on corporate or business unit performance or some combination, and then they could be granted and varied in size based on individual performance. Now, you can also differentiate performance, and that can be done narrowly or broadly. So you can differentiate performance of individuals, you can differentiate performance of teams, groups, or business units, or you can differentiate performance based on the organization as a whole. So what we'd like to talk to you about now is how do you make pay-for-performance work? And what we're proposing is a four-step process. First is starting with the business priorities. Second, communicating expectations and progress to people about how they're doing versus their goals and objectives. Third, putting your money where your mouth is. And then fourth, measuring program effectiveness. So here are some real-life examples from some clients I work with of how they've used pay-for-performance to reinforce their strategies. So the first case example is a large manufacturer, and this is a manufacturer that had operated in a very decentralized fashion. They had a number of fiefdoms that caused costs to accelerate, and it reduced their effectiveness with their external customers and consumers. So as part of their transformation to become one company, they changed their pay-for-performance programs at the corporate level to have shared metrics, where the metrics are shared across the organization related to profitability, cash flow, market share, and quality. So at the heart of pay-for-performance and aligning with the business priorities is your choice of metrics and how you set your goals. So here are 5 steps for how you can go about choosing the right performance metrics for your organization. The first is we call focus, which has to do with what specific results should be measured. The second one has to do with what we call nature, which is whether the metric should be quantitative or qualitative or financial or non-financial. The third has to do with what level we should measure the goal at. Should we measure it at the corporate level, at the business unit level, or at the individual level? The fourth has to do with what time frame we might use for measurement. And the final one has to do with how we set targets.